Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Flying Pig United big panel tonight. Very good panel as well. I've got Manny, I've got Amonde, Griffo, and Nathan all here to discuss the Leeds preview, which is going to be on Sunday. How are you, Manny?
I'm doing amazing. It's good to be on one of these for the first time. I've been on a few Pig in the Hen shows in the past, but it's good to be involved more with all things United on this platform, on this channel.
hmm It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank
And
you.
how are you on Monday?
Yeah, I'm great. I feel like Zidane Iqbal when he had his debut. He went, "This is my debut on the big show, so I'm ready to go." Got a few flutters, but it's great to meet you guys for the first time. Obviously, Maisie, we do our own show. We had a show on Monday, didn't we? So we're familiar faces. But it's nice to meet everyone here, and it's great to be on this great channel, man. Let's do this.
Yes. And Nathan, how are you?
I'm all right. You spoke about debuts. When I first came on, I was basically like Wayne Rooney against Fenerbahce, mate, so I know exactly how you feel. No,
I
I'm
like
doing well,
it. I
thank you.
like it.
Old but gold, let's just say. And Griffo, we was on the fan panel last time. Got you again.
No,
How are you, Griffo?
I'm good. I'm more one of the more experienced people on tonight's panel, which I mean probably is not a good thing, but there you go. I'm excited to see how Amonde and Mane do in their debut.
Yes, I'm sure they will be absolutely brilliant. Everyone, thank you who is already watching so far. So many comments there in the live chat. Hit that like button. And if you're new to Flying Pig United, also hit that subscribe button too. So we will start first with the Brighton game. Brilliant game. Got the 3 points. It was needed to help us to get into top four. Ronaldo too, getting his goal after that drought where everybody was laughing. But Sue, let's just say,
Two.
Mane, what did you think of the Brighton game?
uh, well, now the way I evaluate Manchester United games nowadays is definitely going to be different from when I was evaluating them 10 years ago. Uh, so I'm just going to preface that based on like today's standards of where United's at, it was a good victory to have, definitely, good for the morale. But based on the old standards of where we need to be, it's not good enough. We're looking at Brighton. Yeah, they're a decent team, but we got to be scoring more goals than that. We had our chances. We just got to be better at finishing. I feel like we had like a lot of opportunities in that game, but we just have a problem of cleaning up at times. But it's good to see that at least for the Ronaldo goal, you see that that the pressing was very effective in the sense where we were able to make them turn over the ball in their half, and that's what ultimately led up to that goal. So it was good to see a bit of that in action as well. So all in all, I'm satisfied with that result, but we definitely need to see more improvement on that finishing front, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Griffo, we both done the Brighton preview. I don't think any of us were quite optimistic for the win, but knowing that we have got the win, we've got the 3 points. How did you feel about the game?
Classic United, really. A lot of down moments, but also a few good moments, and the good moments were enough to see us through to get the 3 points. Hopefully, I say this after every win, but hopefully this is the start of good things that we can go on a little run, secure that top four from the likes of Arsenal, Spurs, West Ham, and just hopefully Ronaldo will start scoring more goals, and we just continue this. I don't think we're going to see swashbuckling football from now until the end of the season. It's now about getting over the line, getting to top four, and getting the job done. And if we can continue getting a few goals like that, like we did against Brighton, maybe playing slightly better, then I can see us getting the top four. Hopefully, anyway.
Mm-hmm. And for you, on Monday, how did you think we did in the Brighton game? First half, it just felt like Brighton was completely dominating us, and it just felt like we really did turn it around that second half.
Maisie, look, I you know me, I do a tactical analysis. And this time I had to shorten it down to about 5 or 6 minutes. But I haven't got 5 or 6 minutes here to talk about it. But I'll try and summarize it as best I can right now, guys. I'm really happy with the result. Everyone at halftime, I was like, wow, that was amazing. We soaked up a lot of pressure. This Brighton team, we know this is the Premiership guys. Don't say that Brighton are not all that. They're a very good team. They keep the ball really well. This is what they do. And I think, Ralph, after what happened against Burnley and Southampton, we were wide open. And that is no question about that. We were wide open. We're having 2 midfielders against 4, and they played through us, slice and dice right through us, through the middle of the park. And that wasn't acceptable. So I think with all this video analysis and Ralph's intelligence, we saw something different against Southampton. We contained them. If you saw the back 4, the width of the back 4 was within the 6-yard box. We were tight, contained. And Bruno was coming back. There's a couple of moments where Basuma had the ball, and he's the one who makes them tick. And Bruno was around him. He was hunting around him. He wasn't 20 yards off like he was against Southampton. These are the key differences. So in the first half, we contained them. We limited them to like only half chances, in my opinion. It's okay to play them out wide and he crosses in, because then the centre-backs have to deal with it. I know there's a header that De Gea done a good save at, but to me, that's not opening you up. It doesn't open you up like that. So I'm extremely happy about the first half. I thought, wow, we really contained them. Even though we didn't have much of the ball. When we're coming up against Atletico Madrid and the game's in March, oh my God, have you seen the fixture list? Jesus Christ, we're not going to have the ball. So it's good to have drills like that. And they say about the 11-11 kind of training grid drills that we're having. The players were complaining they want shorter, small-sided games. That's not going to happen. You've got to do 11-11. And to me, that was a big training game against the game the other day against who's it? Southampton. Southampton. Yeah, that was a training. So that first half was training ground. It's like defense against attack, soak it up and be disciplined with your shape and everything else. And we succeeded. Second half, imagine, so they're centre back to popping it around, relax, not getting any pressure. Second half, bam, suddenly we're on them. And then look what happened. First few minutes, we scored because we pressured Basuma. Lindelof came in and intercepted the ball. They tried to play out, intercepted the ball on the halfway line because we were playing quite high at this point, and then played it back in. We had players around Basuma, stole the ball off him, pinched it off him, and then suddenly Ronaldo scored a beautiful goal, no backlift, really nice. First goal outside the box. And then minutes later, obviously, pressed again. Elanga, who Marcus Rashford is a bit indisciplined with his shape. Elanga pressed and pinched the ball. And obviously, was it a penalty? Was it a sending off? I'm not sure if he would have got the ball, but still, it's enough to get the 3 points. So I'm really happy with the development. And as Maddie was saying, it's not like from 10, 15 years ago, but we have to sort of base it, measure it as what we've got in the moment. I'm really happy with the performance, with the change, and we're seeing people grow and be man about it, be a man about it, and start playing proper football and listen to the boss what he wants. And all this talk about unrest and that kind of thing is rubbish. We're seeing it on the pitch. Bruno was more disciplined. His starting position was a lot deeper, and that made a world of difference to us. So going forward, I'm buzzing. Sorry to go on so long, but I'm so excited about it.
It was a great tactical breakdown. I know it was a short one compared to your 5-6 minute one, but it was still a great breakdown there from a Monday.
Graphics and everything else to illustrate it properly, but trust me, it's there. It's there.
You'll have to bring a whiteboard next time so you can show it was in detail. But we'll go with you now, Nathan, of what you thought, how you thought the Brighton game was.
Well, I actually went to the game, so
that's even better then.
Yeah, the first 45 minutes, I'm not going to lie, I didn't remember a lot of it. I literally looked up towards the scoreboard when the referee blew for half time. It's like, oh, thank Christ, that's over, sort of, because it was pretty uninspiring from both sides. Obviously, you had the Moda header, which forced De Gea into a good save. I think it's sort of going back to what Griffo said about that now coming towards now and the end of the season, it's just more about just getting the 3 points no matter what. And Griffo and Manny, who in our group chats and I know like I go on a lot in there because they'll just read whatever I'm spouting and stuff like that. But like when Ralph came in, I never expected, this is it. We're all going to United are going to go full sort of like, as Griffith says, swashbuckling football. It's going to take a lot of time with this squad. And if anything, it's the top 4 race in a minute. It's a bit like, do you remember in 18-19 when no one wanted it? You had Chelsea dropping points, Tottenham dropping points, United dropping points that year. But then United finished, I think, 6th that season or 5th. It's a bit similar this season, really. No one really wants it. Because United by the end of the weekend could be out the top 4 again. Then next weekend could be back in the top 4. No one really sort of wants that poison chalice of the top 4. But in terms of the game, second half stepped it up a bit. I think with Brighton are one of those teams that you always see. They always sort of have a high XG. but they never ever finish their chances, every single game. But against United, I think their XG was pretty low compared to what they usually have. But United just stepped up second half, and I think after Ronaldo scored, he kind of sat there and thought, obviously, what had happened last previous games where United go goal up, you think, right, just please get a second goal, sort of thing, because it'd be like Groundhog Day all over again. Do you know what I mean? Sort of like, oh, here we go again. And then I think it was Moda. Was it Moda hit the bar as well from like a shot from the edge of the area as well? Yeah, because I remember that because it hit the bar in my stand and I looked at my mate and I was like, Jesus Christ, did we go again, sort of thing. But a win's a win. Obviously, Leeds at the weekend should be an interesting one. But yeah, I wouldn't say a professional performance, but just got the job done. Do you know what I mean? It weren't pretty, but you take not being pretty at this point to get top four. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everybody's points what has been mentioned. The 3 points were absolutely needed in this game because we've been dropping points this season. We dropped points at the start of the season with Aston Villa, with Everton, dropping them points there as well with Newcastle, Wolves. So we really did need these 3 points if we are wanting to at least contend for this top four, because just as Nathan has said, we're in and out. It's becoming a bit of a yo-yo kind of situation at the moment, and especially when it does come to March, that fixture list for March, I'm absolutely worried. We've got Man City, Liverpool, Atletico Madrid. It is going to be an absolute difficult month, and we need to pick up as many of these points as possible because we can't be 100% sure that we are going to get all these points in March. We've got a thin squad as it is, but the second half, I was really impressed. Ronaldo with that goal. It was a brilliant goal. No way Sanchez was going to get that. And then, of course, there was Bruno who got that last-minute goal as well. And he has done really, really well in the game because a lot of people thought he was giving the ball away a bit too much, but he did 9 crosses overall. He's now the top player in the Premier League for chances created. And I think just that presence alone of Bruno Fernandez really did help the team because it just felt like he was fighting, both him and Pogba working in that link-up play nearer to the end. They were just trying to fight to get more on top of the pitch so they can try and get that last-minute goal, and it worked. And people are saying in the chat about that red card. The red card, of course, did play that benefit for Manchester United too. And I think it just shown Elanga was a massive threat to Lewis Dunk. I'm not too sure if everybody heard Rangnick's discussion about the game, but he wanted our wingers to press onto their centre-backs and he wanted our full-backs to press onto their wingers. And doing that, I think it was absolutely smart to do because we've seen the pressure there with Elanga and Dunk. And then, of course, Elanga putting that pressure onto Dunk, showing his pace, it caused that denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. So I think it was very well tactical played by Ralph, in my opinion. So we'll touch on now with the Leeds game because we know that is going to be at the weekend. Leeds away. We all know that Leeds is a big rival of Manchester United. Very, very hard game to come to at Ellen Road for me because I think Leeds as a team are so much better when they're at home than they are away. Their record against big teams in the Premier League at home is actually pretty good considering where they are in the league. And last season, it was a 0-0 draw at Ellen Road. But we'll go to you first, Griffo, in terms of the game that is coming up with how well Leeds do play at home. How do you think Ralph will approach this game?
Probably similar to the way he's approached all the other games. I don't see him changing that much, to be honest. I think the use of Pogba in the last game, Pogba should be starting quite clearly, but the use of him in the last game against Brighton was really good. The way he came on with, I forget how many minutes to go, but he was one of the best players in the game, and he only played, 20 minutes? So that sort of impact sub that Pogba was in that game, I can see him doing something similar against Leeds. I can see him playing the Muck-Fred partnership again. I can see him playing Bruno. I can see him playing probably maybe bar Varane, because Varane hopefully will be back. I can see him playing the same team that he wanted to line up. Obviously, Varane Brazil in the pre-match warm-up. But the team he initially put out for Brighton, I could see him put him out for Leeds as well, because I don't think he's going to be of this mindset to go and change what worked in midweek against Brighton, even if it is Leeds and we have a good record against Leeds, obviously at Old Trafford, but point still stands. So I see him setting up similar to the way he set up in Brighton. And I think the way Leeds are, I think it might be a good decision to do that, and I think it will put us in good stead.
And we'll go to you, Nathan, of how do you think Leeds will approach us as a team? Do you think they'll just come with the same plan what we have seen all season from Leeds?
Well, if you look at the last few games United have had with Leeds back in the Premier League, the only time they really set up well defensively was the home game at Ellen Road. The other two times, they lost 6-2 the first time round, in which, the press praised them for losing 6-2. It was the weirdest, thing I'd ever seen, well done for losing against your rival 6-2 that you waited 16 years for the match, congratulations. Right. And then 5-1 at Old Trafford this season, in which it was literally the same sort of tactics they set up with the 6-2, and it's I think they might go a bit different. They might go sort of similar to what they did at Ellen Road, to be fair, when United played them last season, because of the fact that it's in front of their home crowd. It's the first match they've had in front of their home crowd since they've come back to the Premier League against Man United. So, but then it wouldn't surprise you if, are they one of those teams that could be they're in and around the relegation places, aren't they? So it's it's one of them where it's a loss against United could drag them sort of back into trouble. But I think Leeds this season, teams are sort of figured them out compared to last season. Do you know what I mean? So probably last season teams weren't expecting them sort of try and go on the front foot. Obviously, they had that first game against Liverpool, but they lost 4-3, and everyone was sort of giving them praise. They lost against United 6-2, and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank said they should have won the game. It's okay, a weird analogy, but well done, Jimmy Floyd. But then it's I think they'll set up a bit. They'll try and sort of stifle United, but then. But if they do attempt to do what they have done at Old Trafford the last couple of seasons, I think United will absolutely annihilate him again. So that's my view.
For you, Monday, in terms of Leeds in itself, they have actually it's only been Norwich who has conceded more Premier League goals than Leeds, because they've conceded 46 goals overall this season. Do you think Leeds might do something different defensively, knowing they are missing out of the likes of Calvin Phillips, missing out on their main striker Bamford, to try and get at least these 3 points from Manchester United?
No. In a word, no. It's interesting that their journal was saying about the contrast between the game at Ellen Road last year, and I do remember that game. I was thinking, oh God, because there wasn't much on. We sort of secure with our top four at that time, I think. But they are, what I remember about them, they were on you. They were like dogs. You get the ball and they're on your back. They're not yards off you. They're coming. They're on you already. So you got no time. It was really frustrating for that day for the players. You could see it in them. They were trying to pop it off, get a little turn and get a little space. But Leeds gave them no space. And I think at home, that's the performance. What Leeds will give you, they will give 100% at home. That's for sure, in front of their crowd, because their crowd are really something else, man. I mean, they don't hold back. And so a performance for them would be giving 110%, like old school. That's how it is. Tactically, I think Leeds are really good. I love how they play. They're very expansive. They're free-flowing. And I think if I was a fan of Leeds, I'm definitely not a fan of Leeds, but if I was a fan of Leeds, I'd be a happy man right now. And I think everyone's behind their manager as well. Like you're saying, they're celebrating losing 6-2 or losing 4-3 to Liverpool. It's exciting football. And they've got players. I guarantee you get any other manager to manage that caliber of players that they have. They've got one or two good players, but that caliber are alien. And who's their centre-backs? Come on, tell me who's their centre-backs. Nobody knows.
Yeah, like someone else. That's all I know. But
you see what I'm saying? They got Llorente playing there sometimes. You know what I mean? But I think as a team they're great. But I think we're miles above them, and I expect us. It's like a blessing in disguise. After all these tight 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 games, we're coming up against a team now where tactically we're going to get a lot. We've had a lot of chances. We've had like 70+ chances in 3 games. So I think that will continue. But against Leeds, they're so open that we will get clear-cut chances now. And I think Rashford is primed to start. I think I would start Rashford in this game because they're going to squeeze up. There's going to be spaces in between the centre-backs that we can exploit. There's going to be space in behind them as well because they're not afraid to push. They go one-on-one with you all the way. So I think it's going to be a great game of football on the eye. And I think 3 points is vital and we have to get it. And I think we've got a great opportunity to do it and score more than 2 goals. So I'm excited. I don't want to be boasting up on here and then feel like shame when we draw 0-0 or something like that. But I don't think it's going to happen. I really think the way we're progressing slowly, we proved the other day we can contain. We proved previously we're starting to create chances now. We create chances. We proved we can start keeping clean sheets. We're identifying the issues, the problems. Because you see the other day there's a problem and it's being fixed. There's another problem might arise, but it will be fixed. And the players are doing their homework as well. So now we've got a chance to let go a bit and let that freedom come into it and exploit a team that plays open football that isn't tactically stout like Burnley, which is difficult to break down and really tough, or Southampton or Brighton, which are well-drilled 4 or 5 years in with these managers, well-drilled teams. You know, now we've got a team that well-drilled, everything else, but they let you play. And that's going to be great for Sunday football on Sky, great for us as fans. And I think it's an exciting game with goals from both sides. And I expect us to win.
Mm-hmm. And we'll finally go with you there, Manny. So with Leeds, they have lost 5 of their last 8 league matches, as many defeats as their opening 15 fixtures this season. However, with Manchester United, Leeds was the last team we failed to score against in a top flight away fixture, which was last season. How do you think we can improve on this for this game coming on in the weekend?
Well, it's all gonna depend on consistency. Like Omondi said, like if we can carry that momentum from last game forward, build up on those pressing tactics like we established in last game, we could show signs of success. I mean, Leeds is not the best team out there, but the fact that they're so low on the table, they really got nothing to lose. They really got a lot of motivation. Not nothing to lose, but they got a lot of motivation. They have the backs against the wall essentially. They don't want to get relegated, so they're going to pull all stops to secure a W at the end of the day. So I mean, I look at the previous, that previous away game in last year was 0-0 draw at Leeds. But I look at the overall record. 4 wins, 1 draw over the last 5 games, including a club friendly. And we've won. I mean, most of our wins, were kind of like 5-1, 6-2, 4-0, 3-0. Maybe, but that was 10 years ago. That 3-0. But I'm going to discount that. But we've been kind of consistent against these. But again, we can't be complacent just looking at those numbers and thinking it's going to be an easy win. And I'm very curious to know how Rangnick is going to line up, especially with that Champions League game coming up, right? So is he going to be playing, the more young players, or is he going to go with kind of the same formation as we had, on the same lineup as we had during last game? So that to me is a big question mark right now. But I think we're in a good position to win this with the momentum, carrying it forward. But again, how much gas are we going to want to keep in the tank for the Champions League game? There's a lot of factors that are going to play into this game, definitely.
Mm-hmm. What I'll do before I go on to the next bit, I will go through a couple of the comments here. Batman Knight fan has said a 3-0 prediction for Manchester United. We will go to our predictions near the end of the stream. Niall has said, Maisie, you're doing well. Thank you there very much, Niall. As he said, smash that like button, and if you're new, smash that subscribe button. Leroy, hello to you. He said De Gea deserves so much respect. He's carrying the team. He's doing brilliant, De Gea. And I always say with a player, you need to hit rock bottom before you can get back to your best again. And this is what happened with De Gea for me. It just felt like that Europa League final, it kind of hit rock bottom for him. Knowing that he's gone to penalties, he lost that penalty shootout. And now this season, it just feels like his form has gone back unbelievable again. Managed to save 3-4 penalties this season, which has been the first time since 2014 or 2015. So we've shown that De Gea is definitely a crucial player into that team. AR Dan has said if Maguire's in the first team, we start with a 1-0 deficit. Hopefully not, but fingers crossed we do get that 3 points. After all, it is a derby. Probably I would consider one of the biggest derbies, to be honest. I absolutely hate playing against Leeds. Probably all of you feel the same. Everyone in the chat will probably feel the same. Absolutely hate playing Leeds. It's just a game which you just think, I need these 3 points. And then you can just laugh about it. And we're saying, look, who won here? Lancashire again. That's exactly how you feel every time you are into work the following day. But we'll go now in terms of Rangnick, because I know a lot of people are mentioning this particular topic in the chat today, and that is Harry Maguire's captaincy. Rumours were going out today by journalists saying that there has been rumours going about that Harry Maguire is going to get stripped from the captaincy. Ronaldo wants, there's a rift between Ronaldo and Maguire. Maguire, of course, has denied it onto social media. Ralph has been asked about it on his press conference, and he has also said he has never spoken to a team player about dropping Maguire off the captaincy, and he is staying as the captain as it stands, and he is happy to keep Maguire as the captain. Nathan, what do you think about this? Do you think this was the right move by Ralph to keep Maguire as the captain?
To be honest, there's been a lot of stuff that's come out over the last few days, but you don't know whether it's true or false. Even when, like, in the January transfer window, and at the end of it, or towards the start of it and towards the end of it, you had Martial saying that, Rangnick saying Martial didn't want to travel. Then you had Martial coming out on Instagram saying, no, I did want to play for the team. Same with Lingard, sort of thing. So you don't actually know, like, what's actually true from what actually isn't, because there's no doubt there are people leaking stuff within the dressing room and stuff like that, and it's you probably think like back in the day, like I think this is what sort of just the like evolution of player power in football clubs is that, like, back in the day, managers would have been like, right, who's doing it, find out, and if it's you, right, you're out the door, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Whereas players now have got that sort of like power over certain managers. We've seen it at certain clubs, et cetera, but in terms of the Maguire thing, I think I'm trying to word this without causing any sort of. I think he was right to keep him on, only to try and keep the dressing room potentially more balanced and try not to cause any more sort of like disruption within the dressing room and stuff like that. Because you hear the stuff today that apparently all the players have sort of like come together, had a meeting, this, that, and the other. But then you probably hear on Monday after a bad result that Ronaldo and Maguire in crisis talks against each other. They're arguing this, that, and the other. So it's you can't get any like clear transparency on it. The worrying thing, the one thing I can't remember who mentioned it earlier, but it said about someone said about how Rangnick sort of opened in his press conferences, but then you don't really realise that he slipped in a little line. He said about how Maguire's captain till the end of the season. So it was like I looked at that and went, Are you trying to hint? You're trying to like change it at the end of the season, sort of thing. That's my sort of mind going into overdrive. But yeah, I think he's right to keep him on to try and sort of like disrupt to keep sort of any disruption at a minimum. However, in Maguire's case, I always maintain that like when it comes to his transfer fee and things like that, it's not his fault United paid 80 million for him. Do you know what I mean? It's just the going rate. Leicester realised that United had money, because it's the case in evident when when Maguire signed for United, Leicester went to Bournemouth and Bournemouth was like, yeah, we want 75 million for Nathan Ake. Do you know what I mean? So, but with Maguire himself, he needs to drastically improve, because it's like the captain sets the tone for the rest of the team. And if the captain is putting in bad performance after bad performance, you as a player, you look around going like, well, why am I going to take any inspirational leadership from this guy? Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, in terms of, like I said, in terms of what Rangnick done, he's right to sort of keep the balance in the dressing room. But then it's like Maguire himself needs to be like, right, now this manager's putting faith in me, I need to step my game up, or potentially I could be out of the stick next season. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely do agree with them comments. And when you do look at Harry Maguire in terms of him being sold for 80 million to Manchester United, you can't always blame the player based on the price tag, and it's always down on the board. And I think another thing what didn't help is that we was kind of screaming desperacy in terms of we needed a centre back, because the centre back has been an issue for Manchester United for so many years. And I think knowing his good performances he's had at Leicester, his good performances in the World Cup, a lot of things played out. Of course, the Premier League tax, the English tax, and of course, knowing how desperate the Manchester United board was to get Harry Maguire. But for you, Manny, in terms of this conference, what Ralph has said, do you think he said the right things?
I mean, I personally think that whatever happens in the locker room, just stay in the locker room, right? If there's any confrontation between Ronaldo and Maguire, that should be kept under wraps. That should not leak to the press or anything, because the press is going to change the story or alter the story in some way. Broken telephone as the game is. But in terms of him keeping Maguire as a captain, I think he's just trying to instill some confidence back into Maguire, because I think Maguire right now, he just needs somebody to believe in him so he could just rebuild that self-confidence. Because you could tell, I mean, he's definitely facing a lot of criticism recently due to his quote unquote bad performances or subpar performances. Because the expectations are so high for him. You're getting paid X amount of $1 million. I think it's 80 million or whatever the number is. And, you're expected to perform well, right? Whereas if you would have paid him less, he would be more incentivized to work up to that 80 million with bonuses and so on. So, but, if you give a guy 80 million, you're not really incentivizing him to perform well. You're kind of giving him higher expectations, which doesn't make it any good for the player, mentally. So I think he's just going through something, and I just want to see how this is going to play out at the end of the year, right? So, Rangnick giving him the captaincy to boost his confidence, cool. But, I really want to see that improvement, because we've been giving him chance after chance, and I'm at the point where, okay, well, how many chances do we have to give Maguire to actually see some significant improvement in his game? And we've been very patient with that, overly patient. And I just want to see how this is going to play out. Where we finish at the end of the year is also going to dictate that, and how we perform in the Champions League. So again, let's assess based on the end result and decide at the end of the year. I think that would be the best bet moving forward.
Mm-hmm. And for you, Griffo, what are you feeling in terms of this game as well? Do you feel like this conference from Rangnick in terms of the Maguire situation, do you think he was right to say this, or do you think maybe he should call out poor performances?
I think as a manager, it is your job to maybe call out poor performances, try and get people and players to perform to the standards that Man United players should be performing to. In terms of the captaincy, I meant when you, Maisie, G Wolf, and I were on the panel on Monday, I think it was, before the Brighton game. We were discussing this, and I said that we just need to take the captaincy off Maguire. But now I think we're at that point in the season where we now just have to go to the end destination, to the finish line. And it's not worth it at this point, taking the captaincy off Maguire to disturb any sort of relationships in the dressing room, try and cause a little more unrest. Depends how much there is now. But yeah, so I think Rangnick is, in terms of his press conferences, top tier, isn't he? He knows what he's saying. He knows how to command the press conferences. He knows exactly what he's doing in that regard. So for that, I'm really happy that he is the manager and he is doing that, because sort of when Ollie was the manager, there was little tidbits of tacticals from him, but really it was nothing to the extent of what Rangnick is doing. So I think calling players out, I think if it brings out the best in the players, then I think you should do that 100%, because at the end of the day, what's the most important thing? These players performing on a game-to-game basis. And if calling them out is what's going to make that happen, then he's got all rights to do that.
I'll go to you finally on Monday in terms of this, because a lot of people are saying, right, when Fergie was the manager, he actually banned journalists, he banned reporters because of, we all know the kind of club Manchester United is. As soon as you hear news, or you can literally make up these news and it just goes everywhere, goes viral. It's, Manchester United is a big discussion point. Do you think with all this what's coming out, do you think maybe Ralph needs to do the same?
Ralph's experienced. He knows what he's doing. I mean, the question's been asked. Where's it coming from? It's not coming from Ralph. It's speculation. And where's the quotes? You don't hear no quotes about, oh, my man said, or it's always a hidden person. Gary Neville had a statement the other day. He said, oh, I'm fed up of this. This would never happen. I remember it happened at Chelsea with Villa-Boas, or whatever his name was. He didn't play Lampard with him, and he was shocked by this, and it wouldn't happen in his day. And, oh, God, the good old days, this wouldn't happen. Times change. Ralph is a knowledgeable manager. He knows how to deal with the press conferences. We've seen that, guys. We've seen that every time he rolls out there. He doesn't give anything away. He's poker face. He's a charmer as well. And like you said, with the Martial incident and the Lingard thing, where he said that, he stood firm. So people know, the players know, we can't play with this guy. When in regards to Maguire, all right, I'm a big Maguire fan. I'm a centre back. Last season, he was our best centre back. He got us to second place. Without him, we saw what happened in the last few games, the final, Liverpool, Leicester, those sort of games. We were struggling. It was a big difference. He was a rock for us. I'm not saying he's the best player in the world, but he's good enough to play for England. He's probably England's number 1 or 2. With him and Stones, probably their partnership. He's better than Mings and all these other guys. So forget about the price tag. Let's just look at him as a player and let's critique him. What's he good at? He wins his headers. What else is he good at? He can bring the ball out. He's got decent passing. He's a good talker as well. He kind of tries to lead the line. What is he not good at? Players running at him. Okay, so why under Ole? This is the issue. Under Ole, when we were losing against Liverpool 5-0, God, I don't even want to talk about that game. But it's disaster. The shape was all over the place. We, as a team, we were kept getting countered time and time again. And when you got players running at you like that, he's going to look rubbish. Running into Shaw, clumsy. You could go on YouTube and type in, Calamity Maguire, and enough things will come up there because we're a big club and we see this all the time. So how do you improve that? You set it up. You set up a system to protect him. That's why you bring Bruno back. That's what we saw the other day. We have a more compact team. Yeah, I'm saying we protect him. Yeah, everyone's got limitations. Everyone's saying Ronaldo can't press, or whatever fans say, or that kind of thing. So you don't have to press high all the time. You drop it back a little bit. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a team. You've got to get the best out of a team. You can't say, oh, we expect him to do everything. Then you'll be saying we want Fred to get the ball and play it like Pogba. You can't do it. So you have to work to your limitations. I understand Maguire has got a few deficiencies, and we want to play a high line. Then I'm saying, well, De Gea, stop staying in his line. I heard people endorsing De Gea earlier. De Gea needs to come off his line and stay at the edge of the area as a sweeper to avoid that kind of thing. So when Maguire's looking back, he's not thinking, God, I've got to sprint back and I might not make it. He's thinking, all right, I've got to communicate. Someone who's going to be verbal behind me to back me up in those situations. So it's a number of factors here. Regarding the captaincy, I think if you're playing as a team, anyone could be the captain on the pitch. You expect everyone to be leaders out there. I watch the games. I see Bruno talking. I see Ronaldo talking and orchestrating things. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are leaders on the pitch. I see them also, what I'm seeing, which is really encouraging, them saying, no, you're supposed to be here. It's like they've been working for training. Remember, we're supposed to be here. You've got to come back here or you've got to make that run. So this is what we expect. And Ralph's sitting back saying, all right, they're doing it themselves. It's coming into fruition now. We're seeing a change. So all this thing about stopping him being captain, I think that's garbage. You need to get off the guy's back. He's had a lot of pressure. And he's trying too hard. Like the other day against Burnley, he thought, oh my God, the guy's peeled off me. He blindsided me, peeled off me. I've got to get there first. Now, if he was more relaxed, to be like, all right, I can't get there first. Let me hold him up and make sure he can't turn. But he was like, oh God, I'm going to be added to another YouTube video. I'm going to get there first. And then his blinkers on, trying to get there first. That's what got him in trouble. That's why he messed up. And then the other day, there's in the incident with the Brighton game where he tried to rush the guy, nearly stamped on him in the end because he's trying too hard. Calm it down, work on your limitations. That comes from improving the shape and where you're seeing these things happen. Forget about dropping the captaincy. Who cares about a stupid armband? It means nothing. It means, really, what does it mean? Everyone can be a captain on the pitch. Everyone can talk. What, does that mean no one else can talk now? You know, come on, man, this is rubbish. Maguire's a top player. He's still an international, still rated in the 2018 World Cup team at the tournament. Up until last year, he took a penalty in the final of the Euros and smashed it in. No pressure, you know. He's a leader. He wants to do well. What, you think he tried to play that on purpose? Let him be a bit more relaxed and let him try and improve and let him try, because even at his age, he can improve. And I think it's a lot more mental than it is physical, whatever. There's things in this game, like I say, trying too hard to get to the ball, or sometimes you see him with hands all over an opponent when he doesn't get there first, you know? Look at Lindelof the other day, he reads things. Look at Varane. He's got a different way of playing. If you can't get there first, right, cool, he's stand up a man, you know, that kind of thing. So he still can adapt, still can change, still can be a winner. And I guarantee, even though he hasn't scored a header this year, he's going to score in a big game soon. He's going to start performing better. And once the fans get off his back, you'll see a lot more confidence. You're killing a man out here, you know? So stop that. Not you guys, but everyone, you know what I mean, in general.
But it's my fault.
Colin has got such a good comment here. Manchester United's captain's armband is very important, and I completely agree with that comment 1000%, because having that captain's armband at Manchester United is such a big responsibility, and any player at that club, any person who worships Manchester United would feel privileged, would feel like, I want this captain's armband, I want to represent my club. So Maguire has got that at the moment, of course, for the foreseeable, according to Ralph. But everyone who's in the chat, as well as the panel, let's get involved here. Who is our best centre-back partnership? Who should be the centre-backs who should start for Manchester United against Leeds?
Easy. It's easy.
Go on then, Monday. Let's go to you first, then.
I'll go first. For me, the standard is Varane and Maguire. That's your best centre-back partnership. Granted, because once you go and play Lindelof, keep playing him, and then you'll see limitations in his game as well. And then it'll be like, oh, look at Lindelof. You know? Do you know what I'm saying? Give Maguire the chance, get off his back, and let him play with Varane. Varane can sweep up his mess if he makes mistakes, or they can. This is what partnership is all about. Remember Bruce and Pallister? Pallister was the fastest player in the team. You know, Bruce would probably win his headers. Pallister would get in behind and sweep up for the mess, that kind of thing. It's got to be a balance. Look at Vidic and Ferdinand. They're not the same player. They're not identical. They play to their strengths. One's got more strengths in different areas than the others. So I think Maguire and Varane is our first choice. Based on trump cards, you playing trump cards, they would be your better players. And I think you just got to you can't keep breaking up partnerships like that. It's so important about your line, your discipline, your offside trap, your organisation. Stick with it. Maguire and Varane is the one for me.
Talking about Vidic as well, if everybody did see online, Nemanja Vidic and Nemanja Matic was actually confused today, and they said Varane and Vidic is expected back in the team. Come on, don't we all love to see Vidic back in that team? Like, seeing not online, you're trying to break my heart here, thinking, right, Prime Vidic back with Varane. Imagine what kind of a partnership that would be. That would be an absolute brilliant partnership, and it's just giving me goosebumps just thinking of it right now, to be honest. But let's go with you, Griffo, next. Best centre back partnership at Manchester United, who you would like to start in against Leeds?
The centre back partnership I'd like to see start against Leeds,
and the best one, and the best one.
It's so difficult, isn't it? Because there is a really good player in Maguire. We've seen it for United here and there, and we've seen it for England a lot as well. But his form at the moment is poor. I think if you strip everything back, I think Varane and Maguire probably is our best partnership. I'm not just saying that because Amondi's staring at me and I'm pressured to say Maguire. I'm not saying that. Yeah, so I think Varane and Maguire probably, strip it all back, are the best centre-back partnership. But at the moment, the way Maguire is, I would go with Lindelof, because I haven't seen too many like proper mistakes from Lindelof like I've seen with Maguire recently. So currently, I'd go with Varane and Lindelof. But in general, I would go with Varane and Maguire, but still, I don't think that either of those partnerships are up to the standards of a Diaz and Laporte at City, or a Van Dijk and Matip at Liverpool, or the three centre-backs Chelsea have, or other teams. So I think centre back is still an area we do need to improve. Obviously we've got one of the best in Varane, so we need a centre back that complements them. And I don't think Maguire or Lindelof complement Varane so much. I think that's where we need to strengthen the partner for Varane.
And we'll go for you. Same question now to you, Nathan.
I always look at players and just think, like, which one actually gives me the most confidence going into game. It's just like you're basically between a rock and a hard place with either Lindelof or Maguire at this point. No, if there's a chance to clone Varane, you'd happily clone Varane and just have two of them in there. But I was going to suggest Amondi play next to Varane since he plays centre back, as he mentioned earlier. So you never know. Give him a go, see what happens. In all honesty, I think not just centre back partnership. I think our best back four this season consistently has been Dalot, Lindelof, Varane, and Tellez. You know, it's the one that's been sort of inspiring the most confidence in me. I don't know about you lot, but I think you say I think Amondi mentioned about like style of play earlier, about how fit into like say Maguire's sort of limitations of that to sort of like cater to him in a way. I think over the first couple of years under Ollie, United sort of did that because United was pretty much counter-attacking team, so the defensive line was pretty far back to what it is now. And once we've seen that, United want to be a sort of progressive, productive team, he's completely out of his depth at times. That's why I think it's Varane and Lindelof for the time being. I know some people are talking in the past suggest like Eric Bailly, but Eric Bailly plays once every 3 months, so you can't really sort of like rely on that. Do you know what I mean? And even when he plays, you don't know which Eric Bailly is going to turn up. Do you know what I mean? The one who's like making defensive clearances on the line, or the one who's doing keepy up, who's overhead kicking it outside of his own box. Do you know what I mean? So you got that to think about. But I'll go Varane and Lindelof because I think this season they're the partnership that's provided me watching it with more confidence than say Varane and Maguire.
And let's go with you, Manny. Before I dip into the chat, let's hear from hearing other people's opinions. Let's hear your opinion on your favourite centre back partnership.
I'm going to agree with Nathan. I think Lindelof and Varane would be the ideal center back, the center back pairings. Initially, I wanted Varane and Bailly, but for the same reasons as Nathan, there's inconsistencies in his gameplay. But to that point, I mean, yeah, he hasn't played in a while. He hasn't played on a consistent basis. But, if you look at Phil Jones, for example, I mean, the guy hasn't played for a year or so, and he turns up and he probably, played like the best out of any of our center backs throughout the whole year. So, I mean, I would rather have Jones than Maguire. I mean, that's just my opinion. I know it's going to be very controversial. I know I'm going to hurt Amandi's feelings here, but I'd rather have Jones.
All I'm saying is he's the only Premier League winning centre back at the club at the minute. So
yeah, that's right.
but it's also the fact that I didn't want to interrupt Amandi earlier about his praise for Maguire. There's a few things that tick me up about Maguire's game, namely him defending set pieces. He's been often caught with his pants down trying to defend like crosses, headers and all that. Yeah, he wins some of them, but I feel like more often than not, there's some gaps in his game when it comes to defending set pieces. That's my biggest issue with Maguire. And I feel like a lot of these lower tier table teams exploit crosses, exploit set pieces to generate chances against, upper table teams. So I think that to Nathan's point, Lindelof and Varane would be my go-to moving forward.
What was you going to say? Was it?
I was about to say now it's you with the deciding vote. Seems like
It is me with the deciding vote.
I've lost it. 3-1.
I'm going to go with the comments first, and then I will give everyone into suspense.
Can't wait.
Avenger Master said Varane and Lindelof. Mark has gone the same, Varane and Lindelof. Niall has gone the same, Lindelof and Varane. AR Dan has gone for Varane and Lindelof. G Wolf, hello to G Wolf. Varane and Lindelof or Jones. Jones another option. Wigger has gone with Varane and the Iceman. So there is quite a lot of people who is saying Varane and Lindelof. Another one here, Lindelof and Varane. I seen a couple of comments as well. What was in the chat? People was asking about Eric Bayer. Some people are asking about Tuanzebe as well. Sing games, Varane and Jones there as well. So for me, with Tuanzebe, he's currently on loan. He's actually at Napoli. He's no longer at Aston Villa. He did leave Aston Villa in January, and he has gone to Napoli till the end of the season. Tuanzebe is definitely someone for the future because I really do like Tuanzebe as a player. He's quick. He's good with his tackles. He's very good in terms of his defending as well. We've seen that in that PSG game. We've seen it in the Watford game as well. We even seen him play as a right back against Everton in the FA Cup last year. So we know Tuanzebe, he is a future option for me at Manchester United. People are asking about Eric Bayer. Has he gone to AC Milan as well? He hasn't gone to AC Milan. He was close to be going AC Milan on loan, but he has stayed at Manchester United. He did pick up an injury at AFCON, but he is back in training. But for me, in terms of my centre-back partnership, going to have to agree with the majority of the panel. I'm going to have to go with Varane and Lindelof. I do really rate Lindelof, and I actually rated Lindelof even before this season. Rated him for a couple of years now, to be honest, with Lindelof. I think Lindelof, he has improved so much this season. He's actually took on critiques on board what we did have of Lindelof last season. We were saying Lindelof is weak in his one-on-ones. Lindelof can't defend. All these goals are conceded because of Lindelof. And when I'm seeing Lindelof this season, I think he's so much better in his one-on-ones. I think he looks a lot more comfortable alongside Varane as well. And when you do look at Lindelof in terms of his heading in defence, that's actually improved so much for me as well. And Lindelof has them qualities what we don't have in other centre backs, which sometimes we really need to use when we play these low block teams. Like when we have that, he does them long range crosses, what we have seen plenty of times with Marcus Rashford. So he's registered a couple of assists there, Lindelof, and I think he is that kind of player that we really do need on the pitch from time to time. Varane, we all know why we pick Varane. He's our most crucial player, our best centre-back, serial winner. You've just got to have Varane there. I didn't pick Eric Bailly just for the... I do like Eric Bailly, but the reason why I didn't pick him is just because of his injury prone. Just as Nathan's touched on, he plays one game in every 3 months, and if he plays more than 3 games, he's getting a knock here and there as well. So we can't really have someone in a centre-back partnership where it's not reliable enough, where we're going to find these injuries because it's just going to disrupt the play, it's going to disrupt the team. So we need to have 2 centre-backs who are very good in terms of their injuries. Lindelof, for me, he's actually... he hasn't actually picked up any injuries. The only reason why he has been out of the squad this season is because of personal issues and COVID. If he didn't have COVID, he would have still been playing. So he is still a reliable player. I know Varane does pick up them odd injuries, but he hasn't really been so much injury prone compared to what he has been under Ollie. And Ralph has been saying he's working on with Varane to try and make sure he doesn't pick up any injuries till the end of the season because he is a crucial player at Manchester United. So that is my 2 partnership. Josh has said Lindelof and Varane, they allow Man U to play a high line and play a proper 4-3-3, and instead of having to play practically a 6 at a back with Midfred having to cover the ground as well. And that's what I have noticed. I do see, especially when Lindelof is at the back, I see actually Fred going forward a lot more, and that is when we see Fred playing more of that actual box-to-box midfielder, which is the kind of player he is, as well as he is good with his tackles and he's good with his interceptions as well. But let's go now with our prediction time of the show. Predicting the starting lineup and predicting as well the scores. So that is going to be extremely interesting, which I'm looking forward to. We'll start with our team lineup though, and we'll start with you, Manny. What starting 11 do you think it's going to be for Manchester United? So everyone is aware, the only 2 players who's going to be out is Edinson Cavani and Tom Heaton. We probably most likely wouldn't have seen Tom Heaton anyway in the starting 11 squad, but Cavani could be a little bit of a miss. But let's go with you, Manny. What's
And
your
Vidic
starting
is
11?
back.
Wait, so is it the lineup that I want there to have, or is it the lineup that they're gonna? Do I think that they're gonna place?
What the lineup you think is going to be?
I mean, I think they're not gonna change much from last one. I mean, I think they're gonna try to keep that. They're going to continue with that Nick Fred in the middle, and like Shaw at the 3, Maguire at the 5, Lindelof 7, Dalot at the 2, and I think they're gonna probably bring in Ronaldo as a super sub. I think they're gonna put in Rashford at the top. Striker, and they're gonna still keep. I think they're gonna go pretty much 90% the same lineup, but maybe switch out Ronaldo for a super sub later on in the game and throw in Rashford. So I think they ultimately want to conserve Ronaldo for the Champions League game, because it's Mr. Champions League after all, right? So they're not gonna want to play him for most of the game, probably maybe 20 minutes or so. So that's what I got.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant lineup. Be interesting to see Rashford playing up front as on number 9, because we actually haven't seen that properly since before COVID, because he actually picked up a back injury against Chelsea, if I'm correct, and that is when we stopped playing him, and then COVID happened, and then Martial started playing as that number 9 then. So that'll be extremely interesting to see on how he will play there. I'll go with you now, Nathan. What do you think is going to be our lineup for Sunday?
I think it's going to be De Gea in net. Dalot. What I think. Yeah, I'll go with what I think. What I want. So I think it will be Varane and Maguire in defence. Although I don't want it to be. Then I think Tellez might come back in. Because he was ruled out for the game against Southampton, with COVID related issues and whatnot. So I'll have Tellez in. I think it would be McTominay, Fred, but that might work in our favour in a way, because if Leeds are going to be the sort of team where if they do like proper kamikaze Bielsa ball like they have traditionally done against Man United, it might be good to have McTominay and Fred in there to sort of soak up the pressure in a way. And then Bruno as a 10, Sancho on the right, Elanga on the left, and Ronaldo up top. I think regardless Ronaldo's playing, because obviously Cavani's missing, injured, wherever he is on holiday, having a fishing trip, I don't know. So I don't know what's happening with him, because it's like, yeah, but that's my 11. De Gea in net, back Dalot, Varane, Maguire, Tellez, McTominay, Fred, Bruno, Sancho, Elanga, and Ronaldo up top.
Mm-hmm. And on Monday, what is your starting 11 lineup?
Right, obviously I've got Harry Maguire in the centre back. The game goal. I've got Dalot. It doesn't matter, Shaw or Tellez. I don't really mind. I mean, they're equal. No one's clear over the other. Varane, Harry, Shaw, Dalot, and midfield. The most important thing for me is the shape. If we got the shape, then these players I think would work. I'd have Matic, Pogba, and Bruno. Now you might say, "Oh, we need runners or whatever." These guys are experienced enough to keep the shape, and you say, "Well, we're coming up against a team who run and they run and run, and their movement, and we need someone to track them." I think when we got the ball with these 3 guys there, we have control of the game, and that's what Ralph wants. Ralph always wants control of the game and build as a team like that. I'd had Rashford on the right, because he said the other day in the press conference that Sancho is better on the left, in so many words. And Ronaldo, is Cavani? Are you sure Cavani's not playing?
Yeah, he's been ruled out, unfortunately. I actually wanted Edinson Cavani to start, because just to give him a rest, Ronaldo for Atletico.
Defo. Yeah, so I play Rashford on the right, Sancho on the left. But obviously, you see them throughout the games, they interchange, and Ronaldo up front. And I think if we control the game, you might say older players, Matic. A lot of people don't like Matic, but for me, he's my favourite player in midfield. I think he can control the game for us. And when you got the ball, no matter what they do, rushing, and Pogba, Bruno picking up the ball, whether it's deep and they're compact, we're still going to create chances and we're still going to dominate the game. I think we need to start playing football in their half. We're struggling to string 4 or 5 passes together, you know. I think with those players in there and with good discipline and good shape, we'd be okay.
And we'll go with you, Griffo, for your starting 11 lineup.
De Gea in goal, no disputes there. I think everybody's got him. He's been great this season. Dalot right back has been great since Rangnick's come in, so I think no disputing that one either. I think it is going to be Varane Maguire. I would probably opt for Varane Lindelof because sort of the thought of Dan James running at Harry Maguire does scare me a little bit. And they've got pacey players as well. I would play. I think Tellez will. Actually, no. I think Shaw will play to sort of counter Rafinha a little bit because he's one of Leeds' more deadly players. So Shaw will probably be in instead of Tellez, and then Tellez probably play at Atletico. McTominay and Fred, I can see staying. I can see Pogba being back on the bench more as an impact if we need it in the 60th minute or something. Bruno is the number 10. I think that's standard. I do think Ronaldo will start up front. I think Rangnick is wanting the 3 points quite clearly in this game, so I think he will stick with Ronaldo up front. I can see Rashford coming back in on the left or the right, as Amonde says they do interchange. But I would start Rashford on the left and Sancho on the right as well, because we bought Sancho for the right hand side, and I know Sancho's been doing good off the left mainly. But I think if we play Sancho off the right, which is what we bought him for in the summer, and Rashford off the left, then maybe hopefully we can get the best out of both of them. So yeah, Rashford, Ronaldo, and Sancho would be that front three, and then you've got the subs, you've got the likes of Pogba who can come in and impact the game, Elanga who will add a bit of pace if we need it towards the latter stages of tiring legs for the Leeds players. So that would be the team that I think and more or less hope we are going to be seeing this Sunday.
So I'm going to go with my starting 11 lineup. De Gea, of course, stays in goal. No questions about that. I think on the right back, it's going to stay with Dalot. No questions, no reasons for me why Dalot should be dropped for Wan-Bissaka at this moment in time. The left back, I actually think Tellez will come back in. I think Tellez is very, very good in my opinion. He's brilliant with his set pieces, brilliant with his corners, brilliant as well in terms of his free kicks. And if you want me to be honest, I actually trust Tellez out of everybody in the whole team the most to take a free kick, because I think he's brilliant at his free kicks. I think he's brilliant with his corners. And if I had a choice, and if I was Manchester United manager, I'd be saying, Tellez, you're the man. You're taking the corners. You're taking the set pieces, and you are taking the free kicks. For the centre backs, I think Maguire will stay in, especially after this press conference. I think if he does drop him after this press conference, it probably raised a lot of questions. So I think he'll keep in more with this press conference, what's happened. Varane will come back in, especially now he is ruled to be coming back from his injury. I actually think Paul Pogba will actually start because he is very strong on the ball, and I think especially knowing that Leeds can make the odd tackles or so with their defence, I think he will want to play Paul Pogba just so he can keep the advantage, keep that flow of the play, because we all know Paul Pogba in the midfield, the link up with Bruno Fernandez, that is key at Manchester United, and it could even potentially be key for us getting top 4 at the end of the season. I think he will be alongside Scott McTominay, however. Scott McTominay has had the most games as an outfield player this season under Ralph Rangnick. So, especially knowing them statistics, I think that Ralph does really like Scott McTominay, and he seems to really trust Scott McTominay as well. Bruno Fernandez, he will be starting, I'd say. No reason why he should be dropped. He's got 5 goals, 1 assist in 3 league appearances against Leeds. He's created 71 chances so far this season, which is more than any other player in the Premier League so far. So that presence, that liveliness, that energy is something Manchester United need. Because when we did see against Wolves, when Bruno Fernandez didn't actually start, it just felt like the creativity was very dry. It was very sour. But when Bruno Fernandez comes in, 10 minutes after he wins as a free kick. You need them players to win your free kicks. You need them players to create you these chances, to give you these crosses into the box. And Bruno Fernandez, he is a player who I will consider undroppable till the end of the season. I think Sancho will stay to play on the left, but I think Alanga will play on the right because Alanga had a brilliant game against Brighton. I think he will save Marcus Rashford probably for the Champions League game against Atletico Madrid and maybe use Marcus Rashford as an impactful sub. And of course, with Cavani being out injured, Cristiano Ronaldo comes back through in the starting 11 lineup. There's a few people who has predicted their scores already, so let's get them up. Robert has gone for a 3-0 for Manchester United. Leroy is being negative here. Why, Leroy? You're breaking my heart here. But he has gone for a Leeds 4, Manchester United 2. Dan James to cause havoc. He's a lot to prove for. He will be hyped, and he could be potentially a player who will score for both Manchester United and for Leeds. So he will have that, of course, there in the books. So there is a couple of ones already. Niall has gone for a 3-0 for Manchester United. He has also said he's starting 11 lineup, which is De Gea, Dalot, Telles, Varane, Lindelof, Nick Fred, Sancho, Alanga on the top, Bruno's a 10, Ronaldo up front as well. People are saying there is a super chat, and there is. Thank you very, very much here from Zen for the £3.49p super chat. Means so much. Thank you for the love on Flying Pig United. It means so, so much. So let's do this. Let's get our score predictions up. I will go first because I'm always the one going last. I want to hear everybody else's first. So I'll make sure I'll do it first because let's just do this. So I'm going to go for 2-1 for Manchester United. I think it's going to be an extremely narrow game just because of how Leeds have played against top flight teams at home last season and this season. I think, especially knowing it's a derby, having the fans in, which was missing last season at Ellen Road and at Old Trafford, the club will want something to prove. The players will want something to prove, to say, look, we will win against our rivals, and I think they will put on a good performance against us. I think we will score first half. We'll concede the first half of the first bit of the second half, and then we will get a last minute goal, 30 time goal. The crowd goes absolutely wild. Might hear another sue about. We might hear Bruno Fernandez gets the last minute goal. We never know. But that's what I'm predicting. 2-1 for Manchester United. I'm going to start with the positivity. And hello as well to Flying Pig United, who is in the chat. I hope you're well. So let's do this. Let's go with everybody else's scores, which I'm excited to hear. Let's start with you first, Nathan.
Oh, crap.
I think you was expected to be one of the last. I think you was probably.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I was sort of like, I'll go 3-1. I think Leeds will score because even though United did get a clean sheet against Brighton, you still sort of like, I don't really trust the defense. I'd trust it a bit more if it was like a consistent run of games where it's finishing, scoreless to the other team. Yeah, I'll go 3-1.
3-1 for who?
United. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta specify.
Which United?
Which Newcastle.
Yeah.
3-1 Man United. I think. Yeah, Leeds will sort of. I think in the first 20 minutes or so, Leeds will sort of properly go for it. I think because they'll have that sort of home crowd feel about it. They'll honestly want to sort of make an impression early. But I think once things sort of settle down a bit, and if United do get a hold of the game, and if Leeds do come out like they have done previously in the past, it could be bad for them. But I'm going 3-1. I think Ronaldo will get on a score sheet. I think Sancho will, and I'll go for a bit of Scott McTominay as well to get on the score sheet. He bagged twice in about 4 minutes, didn't he, against Leeds at Old Trafford, their first game back. So
the quickest player to actually get a brace.
It's mad. It's like we've had 2 bang average DOS midfielders score against him in consecutive games at Old Trafford. Fred scored the 5th one in the first game of the season. McTominay bags a brace and turned into Zinedine Zidane for about 5 minutes, and then everyone realised it's McTominay after 60, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'll go 3-1 United. Manchester United, there you go. That's a...
Fantastic. You've actually said the correct United, which is a good thing at least. K Slayer has said hashtag where's Griffo. So let's go to Griffo next. Griffo, your score prediction.
Well, I was going to say 3-1, but just for entertainment purposes, I'm going to chalk off Leeds' goal, and I'm going to go with 3-0. And that is highly ambitious, and I'm not sure where that ambition's coming from, but there you go. It's 3-0. Ronaldo will get a goal. I can see Elanga getting one off the bench, or if he starts. And then I could see maybe Bruno getting one as well. I was gonna say Harry Maguire just so Monday's happy, but you know, I thought maybe that's
stealing my fun.
Too fantasy thinking. Yeah, so 3-0 to Man United.
Great. At least we've I guess at least we have found out which United we're talking about, which is a good thing. Manor, what's your score prediction?
Oof, I was gonna say 3-1 actually. So I'm gonna be ambitious and be a little cheekier and put 4-1. I know it's ambitious, I know it's crazy, but
just copy my homework and put your name on it. That's what you've done there.
Exactly.
You've erased your name, Nathan, and then they put Manny in pencil.
and I changed that last answer. 4-1 instead of 3-1. Yeah, I'll say 4-1. Why not? I mean, if we carry that momentum, if we use the same the same team, and the system's been working good. I think, it's going to be tough away. That's why I kind of 3-1 sounded a bit safe for a good bet. But since we're away, it's kind of tough to pull out a 4-1 win. But who knows? Why not? I'm being optimistic here. I'm going to say Elanga is going to pocket one, maybe Fernandez as well. And whoever they put at top, whether it's Rashford or Ronaldo, they'll probably get a brace. Over ambitious, but I didn't want to go with 3-1. I wanted to be original here. So 4-1, Manchester United.
Great. And Monday, what's your prediction for the score?
Yeah, I think we're going to win for starters. I think both teams might score. I think it's going to be a really entertaining game. Scott McTominay, he was saying the other day he doesn't score enough goals. He needs to score some more. So hopefully he does score, Jonah. I was going to say 4-1, but I'm going to say 4-2 because I thought it'd be the same as everyone else. I'm saying 4-2 with the hope that Man United score from a set piece, whether a corner or a free kick. I don't know what you guys think. Did we score a free kick against Villa? Would you class that as a free kick? When the ball was rolled onto Bruno and Bruno ran with it and shot and Martinez flapped it? Is that a free kick for us? Is that
Really?
Well, I've noticed on the corners we've started to mix
clutching
up.
at
We're
draws.
getting a lot more short corners now, aren't we?
It's a semi-free kick.
I don't know. I thought it qualified as a free kick. I thought it was well worked.
All it says, Eric Ramsey, what an addition to the contest of these big performances.
I think the opposition.
Hopefully, for one of these set pieces, Harry Maguire would get up there, get his head on one, and rip his shirt right, kiss the badge, and do all that, and get his form back. Yeah, I hope we win. I think, like you say, it'd be a great game to watch, and it's going to be a huge contrast from playing a free-flowing team like Leeds, who hustle you, and there could be a lot of openings, could be a lot of shape, like part of the waves, that kind of thing. Then going to Wednesday and playing a team like Atletico Madrid, it's like you got to go from one training drill to a next, So this is what we love. I mean, we're in the prime of the season now, and game after game, and every game's important. So let's get behind the team, man. Let's hope we get these points.
Let's hear everybody what they said for their predictions as well in the chat. Ross has gone for a 2-2, Maguire to be sent off. That's already happened this season. Ryan has gone for Manchester United 6-2. Maguire hat-trick, you never know. How is this hat-trick going to work, Brian? Is it going to be from 3 corners, 3 set pieces?
Right foot. Perfect hat-trick. Head out, left foot, right foot.
He's going to recreate that goal what Messi did in the Bernabeu in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Jose has gone for Manchester United 6-0. Both will score for sure. Mark has gone for a 4-0 and a 4-1 for Manchester United as well. Repeat scoreline. Nads thinks Sancho to score. And there is 80 likes so far. Thank you for everyone who has hit that like button. It means so much. And thank you as well to Robert for the support. So we'll wrap it up here. I just want to say to everyone, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a brilliant show. Thank you for everyone who's in the live chat as well. I've read all your comments and it's been an absolute brilliant show. Brilliant predictions there from everyone who's been watching. So we'll shout out everybody's socials. Manette, where can we find you?
I mean, YouTube channel is practically a ghost town, so don't go there. You can find me on Instagram at Manny_BDE. Or you can find me on LinkedIn if you want my professional account. I mean, engineer by day, football fan by night. So it is what it is.
Another super chat as well from Zen, £1.99. Thank you as well for another super chat. I'd absolutely love to see the sticker, but I can't see it through StreamYard, unfortunately. But what I'll do, I'll watch back the stream and I'll look at your stickers. I'm looking forward to seeing the stickers through the super chat. On Monday, where can we find you?
Just say thanks to the Flying Pig for my debut. I had a good debut. And I'm happy to be here, man. Anytime you want me, just give me one phone call and I'll be here. I'm from the Man United agenda. We all things football, but mainly Man United. And I also do work for FTB Sports. We do a boxing show tonight, for example, about the big fight this weekend. So you can catch me at FTB Sports, but mainly the Man United agenda. And big up all the Man United channels. Make sure you subscribe to all of them. They're all doing bits at the moment. And this could be a fantastic season. We want top 4. And we want to push on in the Champions League as well. And it's a pleasure to meet all you guys on the channel tonight. Big up.
Rush with another super chat coming through. Thank you so much, Rush, for the super chat for £5. Nice one, guys. GGMU. Brilliant. Thank you for the love there, Rush. It means so much. So let's go now for Nathan's score prediction for your social. Sorry, where can we find you?
Let's see the Twitter handle there in the box at Best Journo. I don't really do anything, so that's my promotion there.
Love the promotion. Love the promotion. And Griffo, where can we find you?
I am at Charlie Griffo1 on Twitter, and then we've got the Delay Kickoff on YouTube. It's just some football-related content, a few podcasts with me and my friends. So give that one a listen and give it a subscribe as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you to all 4 of you who has come on. And my YouTube channel, it is Devils United. I do content for all Manchester United, not just the men's football, also do it for the women's football. So if you want to learn a bit more about the women's football as well, you can catch it through there. Don't just do the Manchester United women. I do the international. I did an international break yesterday, so you can catch me through Devils United. And my Twitter is at @2_MUSC Mays. So thank you everyone who has been watching. Thank you for the brilliant panel. But until then, I'll see you all very, very soon. It's a goodbye for now.
Bye, guys.
See you later, everyone.
Bye.